Welcome back to tenor guitar time. Today let's work on the 7th arpeggio in the C shape. So we started out in the major arpeggio on the D chord. And then we worked on the minor arpeggio, which just takes the third note of the chord in the major chord and goes down to the flatted third. Now back to the major arpeggio. For the 7th, we're just going to add the flatted 7th note in with the regular notes of the major arpeggio. So we're just adding one note. Let's do this on the A chord today. Here's our A major with the root note on the 14th fret. And we take that root note, slide it down one step. There's our 7th chord, A7th. So the A7th, we're on our 12th fret on the G string, 11th fret on the D string, 12th fret on the A string. So you can mute the high string if you want, or you can actually drop that also on the 14th fret. And then you have your 7th with a nice high chimey high end. And that high end that's ringing out is the 5th note of the chord. All right. Now, and again, this 7th C shape 7th chord you can play anywhere. So, and how you find what chord you're on, do your major C shape. So here's a C note, C chord. Take your root note down one step. There's C major, C7, D major. Take the root down, D7, E major, E7, F major, F7, and so on. When I'm working with the 7th chords in a song, I often like to play get the strong root note in the chord. So I might shift back and forth from a major to a 7th chord. So here's the first part of the arpeggio, 7th arpeggio in the C shape. Now, to emphasize the root of the chord, I'm going to start this pattern on the 14th fret, which is the A note. Then I'm going to go to the G note, which is that flatted 7th. Then back to the A, and then we're going to continue up the scale. And remember, we're doing our major arpeggio, but we're just adding the 7th note in there. So we're going to have this happen twice. So right here on the low string, and then right here on the A string. So there's our root, there's another A right there, 12th fret, A string, and the 10th fret A string is our 7th. And like we were showing before, well, let's just do this nice and slow. We'll work on this lower part of the arpeggio. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on that pattern, I was just going back and forth on the 7th and the root to fit into my 4-beat pattern and to emphasize that's where the flavor is in this arpeggio. Now, if we want to add the next few notes, next 2 notes that go higher up, remember the 2 low strings, the pattern is going to repeat on the 2 higher strings, shifted down 1 step, like in our previous example. So here's real straightforward, the notes, the lower 2 notes, and then shift that down a step. So we have a 2-note spread, 2 fret spread, then a 3 fret spread, 2 note, 3 note. All right, so now let's practice this 7th arpeggio at the A in the C shape, using all the strings in a 16-beat pattern. So I'm going to start by doing this little flavor lick at the top by just going 14, 12, and then 14, and then I'll just start the pattern down. All right, let's just start with 1 note per beat, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. For homework this week, let's combine the D major arpeggio with the E major arpeggio and our new 7th, A7th arpeggio. I'm going to start slow using all the notes of the arpeggio, all strings, and then after 4 or so, I'll go to double time. 3, 4. Fast. Once you get the arpeggios memorized, then you want to begin to wreck them. You want to mess up by adding a note that's a half step up or half step down or a whole step down, and start experimenting for different flavors that you can add. Remember, the arpeggios are just a framework to know some good, solid, dependable notes, but you always want to wreck it and experiment and destroy it and make something new and add a new spice or a flavor. You don't feel stuck to. All right, do your homework and we'll see you next time.